of the very critical forms in which we worship the goddess is in the form of Shakti. So it's a privilege for me to introduce somebody who has not only demonstrated that form for many years, but she continues to inspire many individuals to accept that particular form, to accept that form of Shakti within themselves, and also at a larger transformation across the society in Nepal. It's an absolute privilege for me to welcome Commander Prabha Lall for this conversation. Thank you so much for taking out time and joining us for this conversation. I would first like to start by understanding what has been your journey so far.
Yeah, my journey has been, I would say, very satisfying, to say in something in one word. Because my journey, right from, if I may say, I would say it in phases. My childhood, then my that includes the schooling and college, definitely, and then my journey into the armed forces, and then the re-attired journey, which I say, I won't say retired journey, the re-attired journey. So I am right now in my third phase, the second innings phase. So each phase of mine has lots and lots of memories. And I feel that as an individual, each one of you should also enjoy your phases of your life. Definitely, whatever it may be, there'll be definitely ups and downs. The journey is not easy in any form, but yes, it when you look back, it has to have a feeling of satisfaction, definitely. So, if I may say about my armed forces journey, yes, around 17 years of journey into the armed forces, I was in the Indian Navy, and joining was a little bit difficult for me in terms of convincing my parents. That's a big thing, because I was the first one to join the defense forces from my entire family. There were no male, leave aside females. So it was slightly difficult for me to convince. But yes, you know how parents are. First, they will say a big no. Then, you need to convince with your you put it on the table, the pros and cons, what are the benefits, etc., etc. So be ready with the volley of questions which they are going to put across, and you have to be ready with the answers, how you will convince it. See, if your vision is clear, that's a Shahrukh Khan dialogue, कि अगर आपको जो चाहिए तो वो कायनात आपको किसी भी तरह दे देगी, बट पहले चाह होनी चाहिए. चाह के बाद ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ चाह होनी चाहिए, चाह के बाद मेहनत भी करनी पड़ती है उसके लिए. So you have to work towards your goal. So right, life, I always say it's having ups and downs. It's never like a flat line. Otherwise, it's like an ECG report. You see, up and down. Had it been a straight line, you're dead. You're dead. You're nobody. There's मजा ही नहीं है लाइफ में. Come on. तो वो आएंगी, मुसीबतें आएंगी, रुकावटें आएंगी. That's okay. Be ready to face those. The important thing is you need to move on. You need to move on. That is very important. Don't stay where you are. If not this way, take some other route. It's like the Google map. When you are driving and let's say, galti se aapne, if you have, instead of going, even though it is showing on the highway or on the flyover, and you are confused and you think you're going on the flyover, but later after 2-3 seconds, you realize, nahi, main to niche wale usse chale gaye. That's okay. It will show you an alternative route. So it is never about what path you are going to choose. The journey is important. Your goal is there. Keep on trying. If after trying also at a certain time you feel that things are not progressing, maybe it's time to stop and analyze, look back and think, maybe I am not on the correct path. I need to change my track. So as we say in the military, it's like you aim, right? You aim and then say ready and shoot. Now it's like, okay, fine. You aim and you shoot. Even if you're not 100% ready, you keep shooting. Somewhere, because of your practice, you will one day hit the bullseye. So keep trying, keep trying. As you don't try for perfection, you will never get. In the journey, you will learn. So maybe 3 steps forward, 2 steps backwards. That's also a progress. Always aim for progress, not perfection. So
But this journey, let's start with the early part of it. While you are able to convince your parents, but at what point then you got that conviction that this is what is that I have to, this is something that I need to do.
that's a different story, long story, but I'll cut it short. When I was studying in the school, I had few friends from the army background. I'm from Guwahati, so place like that, there is no navy. दूर दूर से पानी का कोई रिश्ता नहीं है other than the river Brahmaputra, right? So I had few friends from the army, and when I used to interact with them, they used to tell me their stories of the Kant area, the military life, and I used to sit, wow, kind of thing. Okay, fine. That was military life. Fine. They used to come in that Shaktiman Jonga or that bus, staying away from the city. So that's okay. We used to start maybe 10 minutes earlier from the school. They used to start 1.5 hours earlier from the school, from the home. So, but then I was somehow fascinated with it. And then total filmy, all those Bollywood inspired movies, and there used to be Fauji serial, Shah Rukh Khan, and a serial Arohan, which was based on Navy, and a little bit of Udan, which was based on one of the IS officers. So, that uniformed life somehow fascinated me. So I would say a filmy girl, somehow inspired, okay, I need to be a uniformed personnel, interacting with my friends who were from the army. I wanted to join the army. My sister got admitted into a Kendra Vidyalaya, which was run by an Air Force, and that's when I decided, okay, I may try Air Force, why not? And after watching Arohan, how the child is like, the mind is wobbling from here. Okay, but then what was common is army, Air Force, Navy. But the thing which I found later on common was, I want to be in an uniformed service, and maybe in the armed forces, not particularly Army, Navy, Air Force. So this is what I concluded, but I kept it to myself because of my family resistance. But oh, that was always there. But joining the defense forces was a big no. So, and one day when I was traveling in the train, so what happened? My dad was in the railways. So there was a squad which was doing some, surprise checks. And there was a dog who came near. He was a sniffer dog. And he had a belt with some stars. So my father, I was very small, and then my father asked me, who is this dog? So I said, है कोई कुत्ता? मुझे क्या पता? So his name, in his squad, he's the DIG. And I'm like, what? A dog, a DIG? And I was very shocked. So my father explained to me that there is a different squad, and So that day I thought, if a dog can be a DIG, so I can be also something, yeah? Come on. So that, little stories of such incidents, and the serials, they motivated me. But yes, convincing was a tough nut to crack.
I agree. So what changed? So this there was a passion, right? But that passion, getting that into reality when you join the forces, the life is very different.
Yeah.
The training that you need to go through is obviously very different. So how did that training change?
See, when I joined the Naval Academy, the Indian Academy was that time in Goa. Goa, a place like Goa. Can you imagine? Okay, fine. So there is a 14 days clause that, okay, fine. In the initial 14 days, like you sign a bond. And there is a clause that in the first 14 days, in case you find the training difficult or you are unable to cope with it, you can leave. But after 14 days, there is no looking back. Now you have signed a bond. Now you have to fulfill your tenure. Fine. initial training days where I would say, training, I don't know how to say it. There are so many things. And I don't know how the days passed, not in a good way. We used to count the number of days left to go home. This was the terminology, DTLH. And we used to count, okay, ab aur kitna din hai, ab aur kitna din hai. Because, the training period is that ragda which we call. That is designed in such a way that in any circumstances later on, so you need training, because if you are not trained to adapt to such difficult situation. God forbid such situation arises, what are you going to do? So basically you are being trained so that if there is any eventuality later on, you are ready. So you are trained to be ready at any moment for any type of situation. So there's a saying, jitna ragda utna tagda.
Yes.
So it is basic. If the mindset is clear that, okay, I am going to learn, and in the process of learning, thoda sa, physically or mentally, I have to see anything. You have to move out of your comfort zone. So training is all about someone pushing you. Someone pushing, because you don't know that time your own limits, but the instructor, they knows that you have the potential, you have cleared the psychological testing, you have the potential, and just a small push is required. So they will tell you, when you do 10 push-ups, they will say one more, and don't give up. So you will do one more, and after one more, he will not stop, he will say two more. Good. So, and after completing, let's say 15, then you will realize, okay, I was only able to do 10, now I am able to do 15. So you have already crossed your boundary. So it is more about pushing your own boundary. There's no competition. If at all there is a competition, it is competition with your own self. Where you were as a raw trainee and where you are after training. So you are competing with yourself. Day one, am I better? Day two, and so on. So the idea behind this training is to be prepared for any circumstances. There were days जब हमने सोया नहीं. They didn't allow us to sleep. They didn't allow. मतलब रगड़ा पे रगड़ा, and we literally those 40 wings जो कहते हैं ना, वो literal 40 wings थे. मतलब बस कि रात हुई, कब रात हुई और कब सुबह हो गई. So those were the situation. Why? Because tomorrow there may be a situation wherein you are, let's say you are at certain post where the enemy is on the other side. You never know when are they going to attack. And it's like you are supposed to be ready in your watch. Definitely we have this watch system. I mean, a roster kind of thing. Okay, 8 hours you do, because ultimately a human being. But there may be a situation that if, let's say, you are the only one over there, then what will you do? There is no 8 hours, 8 hours.
Yeah.
So there are situations like that. Basically training you for each and everything. Khana, pina, kaise rehna, everything. How survival. It's not there. It is not about thriving. It is surviving.
True.
Yeah. So the tactics which you learn, is a saying, beg, borrow, steal type. You learn all the tactics. How to escape a ragda, how to, undergo a ragda very nicely. Everything you learn. So you become, at the end of that training session, be it PT, parade, rifle training. It's not only, I would say, training doesn't mean only ragda. Let me be very clear in this. It was proper type academy. Academy means morning routine was either PT or parade. You come back, have a shower, then have your breakfast, and then from 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock to let's say 1 o'clock, proper classes. There were certain subjects which you have to clear. So theory bhi hai, morning physical bhi hai, then lunch break, followed by your afternoon squadron sessions. Squadron is more about social interaction, other things, and then or otherwise again PT parade depend on then evening you have a proper study hour, dinner time, 10 o'clock is the official time to sleep. Official time. So that's all. So an academy training, but then at the end, I would say when you're passing out, when you turn and look back, oh my God, I did it. There's a thing, I did it. That feeling is there. And during your commissioning, when you get the President's Commission, the stripes on your shoulder, those stars and the gold, that feeling when your parents come and they congratulate you, my God, that is, something you can't compare that feeling which is there, the responsibility which you have been given on your shoulders. The responsibility on your shoulders is literally on your shoulders. So wearing those gold on the shoulder is wow.
Amazing. So this journey, while it prepares for you, but when it comes to the actual working part, there are a lot of other aspects which are comparative that matter a lot more, looking at different situations and then managing it. So that must have been a very different experience as well.
Yeah, there is. See, theory is something, practical is something. Now, once you are trained, now you are on that job. So first is on-job training, then different, you go to different areas of, the country to learn about the different types of organization within the Navy, I would say, after joining the Navy. So it teaches you about the people in the organization, the different departments in the organization, the work culture. That's also equally important because people matters. It is ultimately, it's not the machine, it is the man behind the machine, which is important. Definitely machine is important, but उस दिन अगर उसका हाथ चला ही नहीं तो machine कैसे चलेगी?
Agreed.
So that psyche of the person is equally important. So there are further training. Okay. It's not that the only Naval Academy training is over and then it's okay. After that, you undergo different trainings. And then once you are considered fit to do the staff job, staff duties means once you are or independent duties.
Okay.
After that, you are given the respective task. Now, the task could be depending on the branch which you have chosen. It could be at sea, it could be on the land. Okay. So, you are required to sail or you are not required to sail, the type of branch which you have opted for. So, things are different. Definitely, yes, long sailing, people who go for sailing, sometimes 45 days at sea. Life at sea is not easy. As I mentioned that I was trained in Naval Academy, Goa. Now, Goa, people will think, wow, Goa, wow, Goa. We used to run, keep running. Samne samundar dikh raha, itna sundar samundar. And we had because we had to complete the run, we had no time to even look up and see, wow, samundar. Right? Fine. That is okay. Being in the Navy, I have the privilege of always staying near the waterfront. Right now, as I'm speaking to you, waterfront is just nearby. Okay. So it is just like if you are at sea. Day one, as a civilian, you will say, oh, wow, samundar, wow, samundar. How long will you say, wow, samundar? Water everywhere. There's a saying. How long you will say? So that certain, if there is some action, fine, you're busy. But if it is a routine, mundane kind of, you're sailing, no activity. Now, what will, as a civilian, you just think of. But then, people who go for sailing, they sail for 45 days. If they go for overseas assignment or some, diplomatic assignment, they come back in 4 months also. It's not like that. They touch ports and they come back, fine. But that is part of your life. Again, to not only survive there, academy training is all about surviving. Here it is surviving and thriving also. So by this time you have matured slightly and then fine. You have, in case you are youngsters, then there's nobody with you as a family. But then if you are married, then you will have your husband, your wife, slowly you will have your kids. You need to manage them also. So the other angle is also there, your family. Your family front is also there. That also has to be taken care of. So responsibility keeps on adding. But it's okay. All part of our life. यही तो मैनेज करना है. It's okay. सब हो जाता है. So if you think something as a hurdle, तो वो बहुत भारी लगेगा. But yes, if you think, okay, sab ho jayega, there'll be, and the organization, what as Indian Armed Forces, there is a regime, what we call a regimental system. The regimental system is designed in such a way, the ethos, the core values, and the regimental system. This is very strong in the armed forces. So there is a system that if you are away from your family, there is a particular organization who is there to take care of for your families, the immediate support. Why? Because the people who are at sea are at peace. That somebody is there to take care of my family, isn't it? Let's say my son is not well, okay, and he's running fever, and I am on some job. Definitely, as a human being, I'll have two thoughts. Okay, how is he? But if I'm aware that I'm not aware about the latest situation, but I am aware that he's in safe hands. Right?
Yes.
So people matters. As a regimental system, this is very important in the armed forces. We do take care about the people. The regimental system is very strong. Naam, namak, nishan. जिसका नमक खाते हैं. निशान is the colors, the unit का कैसे, how do I say, जो unit का एक particular, हर एक unit का एक I would say एक motto होता है, you know, that way. So the values, everything, it binds together. It binds the organization. So that is there. That's
Amazing.
very important.
So moving after such an inspiring, such a career which somehow automatically probably become a part of your DNA by then. So what was the decision basically to then go back and re-attire yourself?
Pardon me?
So what drove the decision of basically deciding that it's time for you to basically look at life beyond the uniform?
See, I had a particular engagement with the armed forces. I completed my tenure. Okay. So the initial engagement, I completed my tenure. And then, yes, way back, you know, somewhere I had read this, retire at 40.
Yeah.
I had this adage, you know, and I like this, retire at 40. So that is your second innings. Have a life after your early retirement, I would say, and then enjoy. I always tell this thing to youngsters, especially, that, you know, you have to move out of your comfort zone. Right now, if you move out of your, like, you have to be uncomfortable right now to be comfortable maybe 2 years later.
Yes.
Yes. So if I may put it across, like when I was in my school, that time you have friends and everybody do not have the same level of studying capacity, whatever. So all those who did hard work that time, hard work, smart work, whatever you want to say, they are at a certain level, right? And all those who enjoyed and in those days are at a certain level, right?
Yeah.
They enjoyed at that time. Got my point? After some time, all those people who did hard work in the school days or in the college days, who have achieved whatever they wanted to achieve, a stable career or whatever, they are in a position to now enjoy life. But
Yes.
the people who had earlier enjoyed, they are doing hard work.
Agreed.
So there is no escape for hard work. पहले करो बाद में करो, करना है तो बेटा पहले करो, पहले कर लो, लाइफ एंजॉय करना है. ऐसा नहीं, इट्स नॉट दैट इन योर स्कूल डेज यू कांट एंजॉय. इट्स नॉट दैट आई हैव नॉट डन मस्ती और शरारत or whatever. I was a very, I won't say a studious child, happy go lucky type girl. पढ़ना है, ठीक है, अच्छे नंबर आ रहे. I used to do also मस्ती, but it was not then एकदम ही, you know, नीचे से first. Okay, so you can enjoy within, as a good student also. There are, you know, the 24 hours is good enough. you can still enjoy it, but don't be in that category niche se first types that time you only enjoy and later on your life you are unable to do anything or acquire a good job or a career and you have to do hard work. So don't be in that category.
So the life in the second phase, what are the things that you are currently involved other than the coaching engagements that I'm aware?
See, as I would say individually, I have divided it into 3 segments. As I mentioned, I always had this thing in mind, retire at 40. Now, what I have done first is I had made a bucket list. Okay. I always feel that whatever is there in your life, what you want to achieve, it is not only professional, it has to be some self time. Karliya, now the kids are slightly grown up. My son is in 11th standard, daughter is in 6th. Now I want to give some time to myself also. All those things which I couldn't do either in my childhood. You know, I told you how my father, he was very strict, only padhai, only padhai. So I used to, like, I wanted to join dancing class. I wanted to join drawing class, which my father strictly told me, no, no, it's big no. So I had made a list. Okay, I want to roam around the entire world, selected especially few countries and all. You say a Europe trip, then a world trip, something like that. And what I'm doing every year, I try to at least tick major 3 and minor 3 items from that list. So now, if I may say that I went for a workshop for dance. Okay, I went for a Madhubani art workshop for the Kala Ghoda festival in Mumbai. Like, so there are certain workshops everywhere happening. You just need to, if you have the passion to do things, you can find it. Like if I want to see the color red and I turn around, I will only identify red color, right? Similarly, so I have learned right now, I won't say I've become a master, Madhubani painting. Then I have also started right now blue pottery, Jaipur blue pottery. So I'm trying, I'm exploring new things. All those things because of paucity of time in my professional field, I couldn't do that. I'm doing right now. I recently went on an Europe trip for 18 days. So that way, exploring all those. So somebody asked me, "Aajkal kya karte ho?" I said, "Jo man mein aaye wo karti." So nobody to stop me. That's one. Second, my giveaway to the society. I, as you're aware, that I'm slightly empathetic. Like when I was even in the armed forces, I was very approachable. I was always a people's person. People used to come to me, anything. Like if there are 4 people sitting, they will prefer me and talking to me that I have this issue or I am having certain problem, and just listen. And then you can, if required, you can ask a question so that ultimately you are not going to do their work. They themselves have to do it. So you will ask certain questions about what are the resources or how to go about it. And then next day or after some time, they will come back. Ma'am, आपने उस दिन बताया था ना, वो काम हो गया. Thank you so much. So I was a good listener, I would say, and I'm a chatterbox also. So I thought, why not become a speaker? And that is what I do. I inspire people, like whatever the best practices I have learned from the armed forces, that I try to spread it among the people whom I meet. And I speak on these topics. I speak about mindset. I speak about productivity. I speak about a certain thought. I'm a thought leader, as you said, time management, whatever. So, whatever I have learned from the armed forces, I try and speak. I always believe if there is an audience of 100, even if 3 people get inspired by what you have said, not only inspired and take action, that is more important. Yeah. So inspired तो भैया मतलब मैंने चक दे देख के हो गए फुटबॉल बहुत अच्छा है और whatever, लेकिन फील्ड पे जाना तो पड़ेगा ना सुबह उठ के. That is more important. So I feel even if 3% out of those 100 audience get inspired and they take action, I've done much.
Amazing.
So it's all about sharing and keep your surrounding happy. I believe in the concept of Ubuntu. That's an African philosophy. You can be as happy as your surrounding. Like as a mother, I would say a mother is as happy as the saddest child.
Agree.
If you have two kids and one is very sad and one is very happy, you can't say that I'm very happy. You can be as happy as your saddest child. So if your surrounding in which you are working or living, try to be jovial, take everybody along. Again, people matter. This is what I learned. खुश रहो, सबको खुश रखो नहीं in that terms, but yes, keep motivating people. That's there. So spread happiness. And one more thing which I always tell people, gone are those days when I would say about the competitive world. These days, especially after this post-COVID, it's all about collaboration. It's not about competing with one another. It is that we can all rise, but again, Ubuntu, together. Let's hold our hands together. Let's collaborate. I am not going to achieve my goal if I step on your head and okay, मैं आगे. I'll try to push you down and I am up. Okay, that is no longer working. It's you have to join your hands, become handsome, give your hand to some.
True.
Simple.
Amazing. So there, in current situation, there appears to be a specific focus from government to let particularly the Shakti explore her own potential and getting into armed forces. There appears to be a very specific initiative. Government appears to be very keen on girls exploring, at least start exploring this as a choice, a career choice in itself, right? So what would be your message to those who would like to explore this as a career option?
Definitely. I have already worked in the armed forces. Definitely as a career choice, big, go ahead. Nothing is going to stop you. It's not, many people have this apprehensions, as a girl, if I am talking as a woman, what is the working culture, whether she'll be able to get married to a good person. Yes, I am already married. Fine. I have two kids. People have that also. Itna tight routine hoga. How will she be able to manage, work as well as this and that, staying away from family? Nothing like it. It's all here. It's never about resources. Tony Robbins का ये line है. It's always about resourcefulness. How resourceful you are. There will be a way out. There will be a way out. You have to find that way out. Let's say I also had certain night duties. Let's say. So between my husband and me, we used to say, okay, आज मेरी night duty है. You try not to put your night duty on that particular day. So, that way. Or else some help from there. And the environment is such, there's a saying, you ask help. The answer may be yes or no. But if you don't ask, the answer is obviously no. पूछो तो सही. अगर मैंने उस दिन अपने पापा को नहीं पूछा होता कि मुझे नेवी में ज्वाइन करना है, तो आज मैं यहाँ नहीं होती. और मैं पूछती गई, बार बार पूछती गई. So initially from the big no, it became okay, बाद में, then it became okay, maybe. So from that hard no, it took time for that yes, go ahead. It takes time, but fine. But पूछो तो सही. अपने आप भगवान शिव आपके सपने में नहीं आ जाएंगे, तथास्तु. That way. Seek help. Never be ashamed of asking help. Seek. This is important. Help will be there in the universe. You have to look in the right direction. कोई ना कोई तो होगा, कुछ ना कुछ तो उपाय होगा. अगर आपको अपनी पढ़ाई करनी है, तो रात की नींद खराब करनी ही पड़ेगी. You have to sacrifice. There's no easy way. There's no shortcut. You have to.
Amazing. Thank you so much for these amazing insights. You have touched upon some very critical aspects of life, and I'm sure this is going to inspire many more. And as you rightly put it, out of the whole viewership, even if you are able to get 3% to get into action and follow what you are saying, I think we all would have served our purpose. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Jai Hind.